Hi everyone, in this video we're going to take a look at ULTRAKICK. ULTRAKICK is a Max for Live device and it's for making kick drums. So I've got it in my device folder here, so I'm just going to drag that in onto a MIDI channel and just wait for that to load up. Cool, so you can see it's been loaded down here. In order to open it up, you can click Edit Settings, closing it with the arrow, opening it with the edit settings, and here you can see the interface. So what we have across the top is we've got MIDI in or play. So if you've got a MIDI clip set up, sending MIDI in like this, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, kick. That's going to flash every time it's got a MIDI signal coming in. And then you've got the play, so you can click that and trigger it yourself. Preset folder, you can set your preset folder up. I haven't done that yet, so that's where you manage all your presets. You've got your edit, so undo and redo. You've got the length of your kick drum, so I've set that down and now I can undo it. I can go back, so I can come all the way down to about the length of a kick for something that was around 140 BPM. And then I've got my tuning, so you can see that the bottom node and the top node and a bunch of the other nodes are all in F. If I press the positive button on that, it's going to bump it up a semitone. So I can retune the entire kick drum by just pressing on that, and so on and so forth. Oscillator 1, that's going to activate the first oscillator. Oscillator 2 will activate the second oscillator, and noise will activate the noise oscillator. And then obviously your output is showing you your, how hot your signal is coming out of the plugin. Down here we've got our envelope tab, and then contained within that envelope tab we've got our oscillator 1 pitch. So the way that when we're making a kick drum, what we're dealing with typically is a sine wave that we're rapidly pitching from a high pitch down to a low pitch. So oscillator 1, this is our pitch envelope for that oscillator. So you can see next to the node we've got the musical note that it's sitting on, and then the frequency of that musical note. And 0 ms is related to whereabouts it is in the timeline of the kick drum. So at 0 ms would be right at the beginning, and at 0.27 ms is at the very end of the kick drum, as we've set our length here. So we can click on a node and drag it up or down or left to right to move it in location. We hold down Shift and click on the nodes in order to remove them. We hold down Alt and click and drag in order to bend the roadmap, or bend the path that it is going to travel on in order to change its pitch. So we can, you can see I've clicked on a random area and I'm just clicking and dragging to pull it into place. I can press Alt, I could bend that, I press Alt, I could bend this, and so on and so forth. So next we'll jump over to the next tab, which is the Oscillator 1 amp. So we have the same thing, it's a amp envelope, but in this respect it's volume. So the up and down axis is volume, so you see if I bring it down here it's negative 16 decibels. If I bring it down there it's absolutely 0 decibels, and then it's also got at ms, so it's at the particular timing for the length of the kick. We have Oscillator 1 filter, so we can use filters, and I'll show you in the audio flow how you turn that on and activate it. And then we've got Oscillator 2, pitch, amp, Oscillator 2 filter again, and then we've got the noise amp and the noise filter. So again, if I wanted to turn the second oscillator and the noise amp on, I'd be clicking up here to activate those. Cool, so that's everything that you see under the envelopes. Here we've got the oscillator, partials. So this is where we're able to add overtones, So we're able to actually change our waveform. We can change the phase as well. We can change the phase beginning point, and we can change the amplitude. So if we want to bring the volume of that kick down, this is where we can do it. If we want to turn it up really loud, we can do it there as well. So double clicking sets it, the value to 0. I'm just going to set it back to maybe 80 is fine. We don't need it to be full volume. And then you've got some other parameters here that you're able to manipulate and whatnot. And we've got the second oscillator over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of them. I don't want to have any other overtones. I just want to use a pure sine. Here we've got our noise shaping. So we're actually able to draw in where the noise would be populating in terms of the frequency band. So up here obviously would be very loud, and at around 10,000 hertz, that middle point. So yeah, you can draw in a curve for how you'd like your noise to sound. Next we got equalizers, and the equalizer is off right now. Let's make it active, and then you're able to kind of just click and drag things down and make adjustments and that sort of thing. So it's pretty straightforward to use. And you've got oscillator 2 and the noise as well for the EQ. So next we've got audio flow. So this shows you the way that the signal comes from the oscillator, feeds into the overdrive, high pass or low pass filter, and then into filter 1, into EQ, into amp, into the limiter, out to our headphones, and so on and so forth. And then finally settings. It shows us the overall tuning of the kick, shows us the waveform obviously, and it lets us save the preset down here. We can change our MIDI velocity, so if we want to have a velocity sensitive kick, we can put in some metadata for when we save the waveform. So there's some cool stuff in here. So let's make a kick drum. Let's go through the process of actually doing it. So if I come back here, I'll show you what it sounds like this. So let's press play. Cool, so that's default sound with just setting it at 7,000 and having it sweep down to B. I don't want to be in B, so let's go ahead. Actually, we can use this. Let's come down to, yeah, A sharp. Let's use A sharp. And let's have our kick starting at around, yeah, maybe around 5,000-6,000. And then let's kind of move this so we've got it. Let's have a listen to that. And if I change that, cool. Let's come over to the amp envelope. Let's use this guy. Let's pull down like so, and if we use that, we can create a nice shape. Can control the sound of the click by pulling that down or pulling it up. We can get it at a level that we think is appropriate. Cool. Now if we want to bring the volume down, because maybe that's the gain out, we can bring that down a bit. That might not be great for you guys trying to listen though, but yeah, so we've used the pitch and then the amp oscillator in order to get that sound that we have right now. Let's use the noise amp. So we'll turn it on over here, and then we'll turn the noise amp up. So let's have a listen. make it snappier. Cool, so we'll turn the noise amp off. So we're just adding a bit of color to the beginning of that kick. Cool, sounding good. We can change the character of that sound from the noise amp in the noise shaping if we wanted. And that's sounding pretty good. So let's go ahead and export it. So this is what our kick drum's looking like. We can go save as WAV. And if I come back here, desktop, Ableton resources, samples, Mind Mirror samples, I can go Mind Mirror ULTRAKICK 1. So that's my first ULTRAKICK sample. Let's save it in there. Close that, and then we can come into here, come into Mind Mirror samples, and we can see it right there. We can pull it in, and voila, we have our first kick drum from ULTRAKICK sampled and ready to go. So we could come over to the arrangement view, we can place it in here, and we can start arranging that and make a tune. Sweet, so that is your introduction to ULTRAKICK. Hopefully that was useful for you guys, and if you want to grab it, I'll show you where to get it. So F11, let's come over here, so ULTRAKICK. So isotonicstudios.com is where you'll be able to pick it up. Jump on here, the price is £26. I'll put the link in the video description. So it is a nice, powerful Max for Live device for creating some really cool kicks. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers. Hi everyone, thank you for watching my videos. If you would like some one-on-one help, I offer one-on-one tutorials over Skype. So if you think that you need a little bit of extra help, please get in touch with me. You can email me. My email will be in the link of the video description. If you would like to support the channel in other ways, jump over onto Patreon and consider becoming a patron. Subscribe to me on YouTube and like my page on Facebook. And thanks again for watching my video. See you in the next one.